back to IDK Comics weekly video blog. Today we're still going to be covering the steps of the depression cure. We are on step 5. Rumination is where you think about the same negative things over and over and over again, mulling them over in your head and just replaying these horrible thoughts and ideas. And that is a downward spiral. It just gets worse and worse and worse once you start. Your brain will actually tag like memories with these emotions. So when you feel bad, oh, I feel, depressed or sad about this, it'll start to bring up all these other depressing and sad memories. So today is about trying to getting on top of that, becoming aware of when you start ruminating and curbing that, stopping that, thwarting that as soon as possible. So the first part to any sort of behavioral change is awareness. First, you need to become aware of the behavior that you want to change. In this case, it's rumination. So how do you get on top of a behavior that seems to be involuntary? It's really hard to control your thoughts and your thought processes. So a way to become aware of that is just kind of create a kind of thought journal or a thought log. In the book, it recommends just going throughout your day and every hour, just write down a couple of these things. The time, what you were doing, about how much of that time that you spent ruminating. So if you log every hour, how much of that hour do you think you ruminated? And then what was your mood, your negative mood, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the worst negative mood? An example from the book is a chart. So it'll say 7 a.m., activity, breakfast, shower, and so on. Rumination, 20 minutes. Negative mood, 6. Things like that. And throughout the day, you'll get a full chart of activities. Then, once you have this chart, you can kind of identify what the high-risk situations are. I notice that I ruminate a lot when I drive. So you can find activities to do while you drive, not like texting and driving or anything, but something like listening to books on tape, having a conversation, things like that, to kind of minimize the risk in those situations. And there are activities for almost any situation that can help you stop ruminating. For example, I mentioned having a conversation. Having a conversation is a great way to stop ruminating, because when you're having a conversation with someone about something else, it's hard to internalize and start thinking about all those things in your head. And when you're doing these activities to stop rumination, you really have to give yourself over to it, to let yourself be fully engaged in these activities. And that's the requirement for these activities, is they have to be engaging activities. It can't be like, oh, I'm going to go chop wood for an hour. That will let your mind wander. You want things like having conversations, listening to books on tape, watching videos of some kind, playing games, video games, sports, something that takes all of your mental capacity to where you can't think about those negative thoughts in your head. Something that I used a lot when I was in college was improv groups, improv teams and troops and things like that, because you're so actively listening and participating on stage that you can't think about anything else. You can't think about how much you hate your life. Also DDR or other video games. And I'm sure you've realized this in your own life that, like, wow, I felt really shitty before I started doing that. And now I don't feel so shitty. And even if you do feel bad still afterwards, you at least had that moment of relief. Of course, all of these activities in moderation. You still have responsibilities as an adult, as a child, as a member of society. You still have responsibilities. If playing World of Warcraft makes me feel awesome, I can't just do that all the time, because then my life will crumble around me, and then when I stop playing the games, I'll feel even worse because I'll have nothing. So moderating that and kind of managing your mood. Alternating activities, stopping rumination as soon as possible. One of the activities that the book recommends a lot is conversation, and making a list of people who you can converse with, people who are available, people who you are comfortable with. If there's anyone you can have a conversation with when you feel yourself slipping and you need help to get out of it. Everyone's just a phone call away. You can put everyone on your speed dial list and just start at the top and go down. And if these are people you're comfortable with, you can tell them why you're doing this. It's part of a lifestyle change, it's part of this practice, this book that I'm reading, this blog that I'm watching, or whatever. Anyway, so I hope you can find some activities that will help you curb rumination. It's a very difficult habit to break. Rumination is one of those things that just so quickly spirals downward because it makes you think that you can make things better by thinking about it. If I just think about this topic a little more, I'll be able to figure out what was wrong with it and fix it. And you don't, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and there's never any payoff. So just as soon as you notice yourself walking down that road of rumination, just getting yourself off of it as soon as possible with any of these activities. Anyway, thank you for watching IDK Comics video blog. Go ahead and leave any of your suggestions for engaging activities in the comments section below. Check out the description for more details. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Ruminations, when you think about it, think about